Hi everyone, so welcome back to another fun week, hopefully for you guys, with a brand new topic. So my name is Melissa. If you haven't met me before, I am the owner of Zoo to You, and we are going to be looking this week at pet animals, but not the standard dogs and cats, because the exotic pets trade is a growing industry, and lots of you out there are really interested in more unusual animals, keeping them as pets. So we thought we would embrace that and have a look at some of the more common exotic animals that are kept in your houses. So today we're going to be looking at parrots, and you've already met our cheeky boy Milo, but you're going to meet him again, and hopefully Rosa will make an appearance as well. So before we move on to that, I've got a little thing at the bottom here which says about our animal adoption packages, and we have launched these brand new for 2020. We haven't been very good at advertising them, so we're trying to do our best at doing that now. All of our animals are available to be adopted for a 12-month period. And we've got different packages, which range from bronze, silver, and our top package, which is gold. And the gold package is only £50 for the year, and you get to come and meet your animal, your adopted animal, twice during that year. So if you fancy that, get in touch with myself. There's my email at the bottom. It's melissa@zoo2u.co.uk, and we can send you more information about that. We are trying our best to find time to update our website with all of our packages and lots of information going on there, but we are struggling to find time because we have a 2-year-old to look after as well, who is obviously not in daycare at the moment. So you'll have to bear with us a little bit if we're a little bit slower at the moment. Okay, so parrots. Let's have a look at, of course, we're going to start with our homework challenge. So we would like you to create this week a leaflet on a pet species. Now, it can be one of your choice, or you can focus on the species that you meet each day with us through the week. So today, obviously, we're looking at parrots. And we'd like you to create this leaflet to give to someone that would be interested in looking at getting a pet that's a little bit more unusual. So you need to think about including the type of housing they need, the diet that they would require, any enrichment, and we'll talk about enrichment in a bit, if you need to find a specialist vet and what vet care they might need, and any special considerations that they might have as a species-specific item. And also any of the good and bad points about keeping them as pets. So as we've said, we're going to be looking at parrots today, and parrots are quite dear to my heart because that was my very first position in a zoo as a parrot keeper many years ago. You'll have to excuse my massive glasses and big frizzy hair. I've changed a little bit over the years. This was back in the 90s. And here's just a few examples of the types of birds I worked with. So this was Petra, and she was a macaw. This is Nikki, and she's an African grey parrot. And then the other one was Bitsy, and she's coming up now, and there she is. And Bitsy was my absolute favourite. She was gorgeous. She is a Moluccan cockatoo with a beautiful salmon crest there. And parrots are a unique species to work with because they are so intelligent. And we're going to be talking about that in a little while. But first of all, let's think about the certain things that we need to keep our animals, our pets, healthy. And this goes across all of the animal kingdom that is in captivity. It doesn't matter if you're a farmer, if you're a zookeeper, or if you're a pet owner. These 5 freedoms have been set up to provide us with a guide to how to care for our animals and keep them healthy and happy. So we'll go through them. There's 5 of them. And the first one is freedom from hunger and thirst. That's an obvious one. Yes, we have to feed our animals and we have to provide water for them. But you need to give them fresh water. They can't just have water that's a few days old. It might have had some droppings in the water that you might be unaware of. You might have given it some water-soluble vitamins that need to be changed regularly, or the diet might be something that is very, very specific to that type of animal. So there's a lot of things in the hunger and thirst freedom that you need to consider. So always change the water daily, give them a fresh, clean bowl of water, and make sure that you're giving those animals a specific diet that is relevant for the animal that you are feeding. So, for example, with Milo here, he actually drinks from a water bottle. And we've made that decision because parrots obviously poo wherever they are sitting. And if you put a water dish at the bottom of his cage or aviary, you would invariably get some sort of droppings or shavings or food items dropping into the water dish. So it wouldn't stay fresh for very long. And so we've chosen to give them a water bottle because that water will be maintained throughout the day as fresh. And we make sure that we clean that water bottle every single day because water bottles actually can harbour bacteria, especially in the mouth parts where they drink from. So that's really important. We also give the parrots a water-soluble vitamin twice a week. And we have to change their water, make sure we properly scrub out that water bottle after we've given them the vitamins the following day, because vitamins can turn bad and they can build up and create something nasty in the water. Then the parrots would be drinking that. With regards to diets, there's a variety of parrots and they all have different diets. So Milo here is an Eclectus parrot. And Eclectus parrots are a little bit different to most of the other parrots in that they need quite a variety and specific foods. So we give him not too much seed. No, I know, Milo. Not too much seed, and they get something called pulses that we sprout. So sprouted pulses are actually very, very healthy and nutritious for all parrots. And we also give him a really wide variety of vegetables with a little bit of fruit. So with Milo here, he gets treats as well, but we never, ever give him human food. Now, human food contains lots of things that are not healthy for parrots, such as a high content of salt and lots of sugar. And so we never, ever give him anything, even though he might look at us longingly while we're eating our bag of crisps or maybe our chips. We never, ever give in to him, and we'll just give him parrot-specific treats instead, won't we? Yes, we will. So freedom from discomfort is number 2, and it's all about giving them a suitable home. So they have to be able to find somewhere nice and comfortable to sit and rest or lay and rest, and they need places where they can feel safe. So you need to provide them with shelters. Now with parrots, they like a little corner where they can just hide away, tuck themselves away, and just be away from the hustle and bustle of your home. So you can either give them a box or somewhere that they can hide behind. So lots of hanging toys maybe that they can sit behind. You can buy little hammocks for them, or what are they called? Little, almost like little tents that hang from the roof, depending on the size of your bird. and a lot of parrots like to snuggle in those. They need to be out of drafts. The parrots don't do very well in drafts. Never put a parrot in front of a window either, because the sunshine could overheat your parrot. Don't think you're giving it lots of lovely sunlight, because UV doesn't go through glass, the UV that they need. So you're not helping them in that way. You're just overheating them, and they would potentially get very stressed with what's going on outside of the window as well. So there's lots of things that you need to consider with parrots. They also are very intelligent creatures and should never be kept in a cage 24/7. So you might not have a massive house where you can put up a big aviary in your home, but you need to be able to provide them with a cage that's big enough for them to spread their wings and not damage themselves. And so we give our parrots, they're actually housed in an aviary at the centre. But Milo actually started life as my pet. So he did grow up in the home. And so we had a cage, quite a large cage in the house, but we let him roam around the house when we were there. Generally, as long as we were in the house, he would be out of his cage. So he was able to free fly around the home and get up to lots of mischief. We'll talk about that later. Freedom from pain, injury, or disease. That's number 3. So we are the keepers of these animals. We are in charge of keeping them safe. Now, a lot of things can cause pain, injury, or disease. And the majority of pet birds, pet parrots, will get themselves into all sorts of trouble if they were left unsupervised. And certainly if you give them toys, which they do need, lots of toys, if you gave them lots of toys that were not suitable for parrots, they could cause themselves a lot of damage. So, for example, even parrot toys can be dangerous to parrots. They come with little clips that you can hook them onto the cage bars and hang them down from the roof or the side of the bars. If those clips are not done up correctly, the parrots can undo them and get them stuck on their lower beak. Now that is extremely painful, and potentially you would have to take it to the vet because you wouldn't be able to remove that from its beak, because even the friendliest of parrots, if it's in distress or pain, it's going to be very scared and will potentially bite you very hard with their big beaks. So you need to really think about what you're doing, what you're giving to your pet parrots, and making sure that you secure everything properly so that they cannot injure themselves. Disease is, there's lots of things that can cause disease in parrots. The majority of things are caused by a nutritional deficiency of one thing or another. And also there's something called psittacosis, which is actually transferable to humans as well. Now, quite a few birds will have psittacosis, but it lays dormant. You won't see it. They will be asymptomatic. That's a big word. Can you say asymptomatic? Well done. Okay, so that means that they're not showing any signs of the disease at all. And it will just sit in the bird until the bird becomes stressed. And that's when the psittacosis then becomes a problem in your bird, but also potentially with yourself as well, because you can get it from your bird. So there's lots of things that you can do to prevent injury, to prevent pain, and also to prevent disease in your bird. And you need to have yourself a good vet that you can call on if you so need it. So we always take our birds to a bird specialist. He is a trained veterinarian in birds, and he only sees birds. So we know that our birds are in safe hands if they ever need to go and see him. And we're very lucky that he is not too far away from us. So that's a consideration before even getting a pet bird as to where you're going to take it. So number 4 is freedom to express normal behavior. Now, parrots love to have fun. They are basically perpetual toddlers. In fact, parrots, some more than others, have the intelligence of a 3-year-old. So imagine putting a 3-year-old in a cage and expecting it to just sit there. It's not going to happen. So birds love to just mess around, have fun, investigate lots of things, and just basically enjoy life. So this is why they need lots and lots of things to do, keeping their minds active and also giving them enough space that they can do that in. So this comes back to their housing. So you need a cage or an aviary that is appropriate sized for your pet parrot. And parrots can be big or small. You can have the large macaws, or you can have the very tiny little budgies. And I started my pet ownership with a gorgeous little budgie, and he was beautiful. And so there's all sorts of things that you have to consider, and space really is a really big consideration, because if you imagine the parrot is going to be in a cage, probably more than it's going to be out of the cage in reality. So don't just stick it in some tiny little cage and think that will be sufficient. Go as big as you possibly can. And also, if the animal is social, then you need to potentially provide it with a friend. And we found that with Milo. He was out with us all the time, and he loved spending time with us, but we weren't enough for him. So we ended up getting him a girlfriend called Rosa, and she comes with all of her own special issues as well. And we'll meet Rosa in a minute, hopefully. And the last freedom is freedom from fear and distress. So basically, you're going to be providing for that animal in a safe and environment where it will not meet anything that it will be afraid of, and it will not encounter any distress at all. Now, that's in an ideal world. All animals will encounter fear or distress at some point in their lives, because even us humans encounter fear or distress. And that might be that they don't like the vacuum cleaner or the feather duster or something. Even the colour of your nail varnish might distress them. So parrots really are very special little creatures, and you have to really understand a parrot's psyche to understand what will and won't harm them mentally. So let's properly meet Milo now. Hopefully he's going to come over. They're both running riot at the moment in the centre, of course. Hello, Rosa. And we're going to meet, we're going to see how clever Milo really is. Come on, Milo. Oh, brilliant. That was well timed. Okay, so can you wave, Milo? Are you going to wave? Well done. There's a good boy. You want that one, don't you? Okay. So, yes, that's a great wave. Very nice. Are you going to show everybody your wings? Can we see your wings? Oh, beautiful. Rosa just landed on my laptop. Sorry about that. And Milo, can we go upside down? Can we go upside down? Yes, we can. So Milo is showing you lots of behaviours which look like tricks, but actually these are behaviours that he would use in the wild. He can stand obviously on one foot, so that was him waving, and they're very, very dexterous with their feet. In fact, they use their feet for a lot of different things. As you can see now, he's hanging upside down, and he would be able to hang upside down, rooting around for fruits that were in the trees. His wings, he was showing you his beautiful colours, because actually he's all green until he opens his wings. Are you going to show me your wings again, Milo? Show me your wings. Beautiful. And the wings just attract his females, because he wants to find a girlfriend, so he has to have a little bit of colour. Parrots see in colour, and that's why they need a special lamp. So we provide our parrots with a UV lamp light, which they can sit underneath, and they see in amazing Technicolor, with more vibrant than we can see in. And so colour is really important to them. We're going to try this one. Are you going to sing? Milo, can you sing? Milo, can you sing? Oh dear. That's a poor tune. Can you sing? No, that's not singing, is it? Okay, we'll try that one in a minute. So Milo here is quite happy to just sit around and spend time with us each day. We had Milo when he was 6 months old, and we spent quite a lot of time getting him used to being around us and then training him up. Are you trying to sing? La. Brilliant. And again, la. Beautiful singing. Okay, so we have trained him to do these behaviours, and he does talk a lot, and that's one of the main reasons why people like pet parrots, is because they can mimic speech. And so when they are young, they like to just copy what's going on around them, and this is something that they learn in their flock. So they will all learn different calls depending on what flock they have grown up in. So Milo here loves to wolf whistle. He loves to shout. Oh, lovely, Milo. He loves to call out the dog's name. He can bark like a dog. He can say raspberry, and he blows a raspberry. Can you show me your tongue? Oh no, it's lovely singing. He won't stop singing now. Hello, Rosa. He can laugh like me. He does lots of things, but unfortunately, we've never been able to get him to speak on command, have we, Milo? Right, so let's give him this one, and we will see if we can show you Rosa. Come on, Rosa. Are you going to step up? There's a good girl. So here is Rosa. Now, Rosa is a little bit different to Milo. So we had Rosa much younger than Milo was, but and we finished hand rearing her, and she was a very snuggly little girl until she became mature, and then she turned a little bit hormonal, shall we say. So we now can't handle her very often with our hands, because we'll end up with a bite, and that's another problem with parrots. A lot of them will bond with one person and won't accept any other family member. And lots of people end up getting rid of parrots because they end up being bitten. And parrots bite very, very hard. Their strength in their beak is incredible. And so you have to be aware that you might not always end up with a friendly parrot, or if it's your pet, it might like your husband or your brother, or so you have to just be aware that if you get a pet parrot, you take the good, the bad, and the ugly with it. Now, you might notice that Rosa is a little bit fluffy, and this unfortunately is due to her having pulled out some of her feathers. Now, thank you, Milo. Eclectus parrots are very, very hormonal. They are very driven to breeding. And because Rosa has reached the breeding age, she is extremely focused on breeding. And if she can't breed, for whatever reason, she becomes a little bit stressed. So we're trying all we can to get her to grow her feathers back by changing lots of different things in her environment. It started to work, and then it hasn't, and then she's plucked her feathers again. And so we're having an uphill battle at the moment with getting her looking back to how she used to do only a few months ago. So this is a very recent behavioural change. And that's another thing that pet parrots are prone to. If they are stressed, they will feather pluck. And so we're not hiding the fact that we have a parrot here that has gone through a little bit of stress. And this is mainly because of her hormones more than anything else. So we're trying to encourage her to grow her feathers back by however we can, aren't we? Lots of husbandry changes, lots of dietary changes, and lots and lots of different rotations of toys, and lots of different textures so that she can use her beak for other means rather than plucking out her own feathers. And hopefully we'll get her looking back to how she was soon, won't we, Rosa? You've done very well there, Rosa. You're going to sit there, Milo? No, you don't want to sit there. Okay, you sit there because we're going to the next slide. Good girl, Rosa. So, Milo, Life with Milo, I've entitled this. And Milo really was a cheeky little boy. So this is Milo as a baby. You can see his beak was a little bit black, not quite as orange there, and he wasn't quite as black on his lower mandible. Milo was a very cheeky little chap and loved to be out and about with us. Didn't matter what we were doing, he was there. So this is Milo in the kitchen cupboard or on the door waving, aren't you? On the door waving. Just before he goes into my kitchen cupboard. And this is something else that you need to be aware of. Parrots just like to get into all sorts of mischief. Milo in the cupboard completely. So they cause a big mess all over your house. They don't mind where they poo, and they don't mind what they destroy. But they're not out to destroy everything in your home. They just want to have fun and investigate. So this is baby Rosa, and you might see the little yellow tip on the end of her beak. This was her. This is the remnant of her being a little baby. Where's she gone? And this is Milo and Rosa as they were getting introduced to each other, because you can't just stick two parrots together and assume they're going to like each other. So it took us quite a while to get them to into the same cage, and now they live in their aviary together. So lots and lots of things. The other thing you have to think about when you've got pet parrots is a lifestyle change. You can't just go on holiday and leave a parrot in a kennel, because there's no real system that is set up for exotic pets. So you would either have to have a friend that they like, or not on holiday, which is what we generally do. And so the other thing is, if you like to burn your scented candles or incense sticks, or if you like smelly plugins, or if you like to wear perfume or aftershave, all that has to go, because parrots have really, really sensitive respiratory tracts, and therefore they can encounter a lot of difficulties with things that have strong smells. So we did eliminate all of those from our homes. The other thing is saucepans or cooking pans have to be free from. My mind's gone blank, so you'll have to research that. Sorry, but certain things in some of the cooking utensils that you would use, the pans, pots and pans, are actually really toxic to parrots and will kill them. So a lot of different things that you have to think about with owning parrots. And that even is the tiny little budgies right up to the big macaws. So take it seriously, guys. Don't get a pet until you've researched everything about it. Okay, so we're going to have a recap. We had a look at parrots as pets. We had a look at the good bits. The good bits and the bad bits. Well, the good bits are they are very affectionate when they want to be. And the bad bits, well, they just without meaning to, destroy things. They poo everywhere. They bite hard. They might not like you, and they are very fickle. And so you just need to understand that parrots are not a dog or a cat. They are something that has a very, very high intelligence, and you need to treat it accordingly. We met Milo and Rosa, our Eclectus parrots, and they're just one species of parrot. Eclectus parrots are not really that well known in the pet trade. They're becoming more popular, but the more popular ones are the African greys, because they are amazing talkers, and that's what people are drawn to. And your homework for today is to create a leaflet all about parrots as pets. So include lots of things like the housing. You need to think about their diet, think about what care they might need, so vets, think about all sorts of things, all the things that I've mentioned and more, because I can't tell you everything in this short space of time about parrots. And we will show off your homeworks through the week. If we get any in today, we will show you tomorrow. But don't forget to post it on our homework post on our Facebook page, which is, the link is there. And then we're just going to end with a reminder about our crowdfunder. I'm not going to push it too much because we do that all the time. But obviously we are still here, guys. We still have these lovely animals. So we're doing these talks for free. So if you're enjoying meeting our animals and learning a little bit as well, and you have a little bit of spare change, even £1 would be amazing. £1 would buy these guys a pineapple, which they would absolutely devour, wouldn't you? You love pineapple. Okay, so that's me done for today, and I hope you enjoyed it. We've got a bit of a different backdrop, so let me know your thoughts on that as well. We thought you'd like a little bit of a change. Over this side we have our chameleon, Radama, and then this side we have a set of bibs with lizards and snakes and things like that in there. And so we just thought we'd give you a bit of a change of scenery as we're talking about pets today. Okay, so that's me done. I will see you guys probably next week now, because tomorrow you've got Stacey, and Stacey will be talking to you about fluffy guinea pigs and rabbits. So see you then.